TGR News, broadcasting from the State of Israel.
Welcome back to TGR News.
Welcome, welcome.
This week we had more terrorist attacks. The Arab criminal element is growing completely out of control, and our borders are constantly trying to be breached by our wonderful neighbors. Also, a Mossad agent was mysteriously killed in Italy. We'll talk about all this and much more. But first, let's say thank you. Thank you so much for what you guys do. It is such a blessing to be able to be a part of what we do here because of your support. It is an amazing thing to be able to see the people every week, how they just, they're surprised at the beginning, and then they become, dependent, and they can't even count on us now because it's been so long. We come every week, and you can just see it, how they count on it, and it's a
blessing. It's a blessing to us too, to be able to do this.
Amen. And like we always say, if you haven't yet been a part of this part of the ministry, and you feel like you want to, beneath all of our videos on the YouTube channel, there's links to the Patreon page and to the Support Us page. Or you can just go to thegoldenreport.com and go to the Support Us page there and find whichever way suits you best to support this part of the ministry and be a tremendous blessing to the children of Israel. It is really is something.
It is. We thank you so much for the ones that has been faithful for many years.
Amen.
With this ministry, and all the new ones that are coming in. We appreciate y'all so much.
Amen. Well, also, it's real easy. You can always help us out by hitting the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That helps a lot in getting these videos out to more and more people, as well as share it with your friends. You can always share the videos. Well, you can see I'm not here with Ola. I'm here with Mama. It's been a while since you've been back.
It's been a while since I've been here.
I'm sure the people are going to like it.
Hopefully, I'll do a good job.
I hope I'll be able to say a few things. You let me talk today.
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see. Well, let's get started. In a village close to Nazareth, the Arab criminal element has risen to a new high when, in the middle of the day at a car wash, a shootout between two Arab criminal families killed 5 people, including a 15-year-old boy. This has become completely out of hand in the Arab villages, and the Israeli police have lost any kind of control they might have had once at one time. Prime Minister Netanyahu decided to get the Shabak involved. Well, to be precise, he is asking to get the Shabak involved, and he wants to get the Shabak involved. This could be good, because if Israel finally go into the Arab villages and confiscates all the illegal weapons, I believe that would not only make a difference in the criminal shootings, but it will also have an effect, a positive effect, on the terrorist shootings. But it also could be bad, because allowing the Shabak to work on the Israeli citizens could have negative outcome on the individual privacy.
Yes, and the Shabbat, you need to explain, because there's a lot of people that are new to the Israeli news and, our government and how things work. So they need to know the Shabbat is something similar to the FBI, but you could explain it better.
Yeah, the best, easiest way to say Shabak is the Israeli FBI, but it's more than that, because they're tasked with the job of security and to work against terrorists, which are not Israeli citizens. So because the terrorists that live, let's say, in Jenin or something, they're not Israeli citizens with an Israeli passport, they don't have to go through the same hoops that the police have to go through, like to get a warrant to tap your phone or other things like that, like all police do to work on a civilian,
They have more lax rules to be able to do their job.
To turn them loose on the citizens of Israel could have some negative outcomes, to say the least. What I think they probably ought to do is allow the Shabak to advise the police, and maybe allow the police to use some of, not all, but some of Shabak's ways and equipment and high-tech stuff.
Right. curb the violence.
Because well, unfortunately, the truth is Israel has not been doing the job on keeping the Arab criminal elements under control in the Arab villages. The outcome of the negligence is that the criminal element has grown stronger and is now becoming, it's actually beginning to spread and affect Israel all over. I'm not sure if giving the Shabak the reins, like I was saying, on civilians is the answer. But there's a few other ways. If the police are basically worried to go into these Arab areas because the Arab criminals element has taken control, and they'll automatic machine guns and everything else. They'll just have a big firefight anytime a cop car comes in. Well, maybe we could come up with a new idea. Maybe something like let the IDF be bodyguards to the police officers only, obviously not allowing the IDF to do anything on the civilians, but just for the backup for the cops. Anyway, there's other things that we can do, but we have to do something.
Yes, we do. We have to protect our policemen, but we also have to curb all this criminal activity. Like you said, it's going over into the Jewish communities.
Yes,
and of course it gives more of a free rein to the terrorists.
Yeah, because it does. Because these same criminal elements also support the terrorist element.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you a sad story. We're still talking about the same subject. This happened this past Sunday. The mayor of Lod, which is a city with both Jewish and Arab populations, near the Ben Gurion airport, by the way, called the two heads of Arab criminal families to actually sign a document saying that if they would stop shooting in the city for 3 weeks, he would stop the police from investigating and arresting them. This is negotiating with terrorists, if you ask me. And it is embarrassing to even talk about. But the truth is, because of the police seem to be unable to take care of the problem, then this kind of nonsense is actually going on, where a mayor of a city feels abandoned by the police and he has to do stuff like this.
Yeah, it has to depend on the criminal element, like you said, like the mafia style families, to say, hey, curb your people.
Yeah. Well, that's enough of the criminal element. We go back to the regular security terrorist element now.
Yeah.
Well, after last week, we talked about when an Egyptian police officer was able to breach the Israeli border and kill 3 IDF soldiers. Now the IDF is dealing with a new problem on the northern border with Lebanon. Hizbollah is coming up to the Israeli border and cutting down the barbed wire sections of the fence that mark the border between Lebanon and Israel. The IDF repaired it, and then they did it again, saying if Israel continues to repair the fence, they will attack.
That's nothing new.
Yeah.
Anytime Israel tries to defend its borders, that's an excuse to attack.
Exactly. And in the meantime, we're seeing more and more activity on the Jordan border with Iranian proxies attempting to cross over to come into Israel. This is it was like a little match that lit them up when last week with the Egyptian police officer that came over the border. Now they're trying in Lebanon and in Jordan.
Yeah. And of course, they still are in Syria.
Yeah, well, yeah. But Lebanon and Jordan in this past week has really beefed it up. It's just insane stuff. Netanyahu made a speech this week to address the renewed talks between the U.S. and Iran to make a new nuclear deal. Netanyahu said that no matter what deal the U.S. makes with Iran, it will not stop Israel from pursuing its own safety. He went on to explain that 90% of the threats to the existence of the state of Israel come from Iran, whether directly or by proxy. Meaning, Iran supports Hizbollah, Iran supports Hamas, Syria.
Any organization that will want to destroy Israel, they're going to supply them with everything they can.
Yeah.
And I can't believe, America really shouldn't be making deals with nuclear with Iran. It's, of course, I think Iran is beyond the point of really.
Well, Iran's flat out said, even they said it right after the Biden administration tried to renew these talks with a nuclear deal. The leaders of religious and political leaders of Iran came right out and publicly speaking saying that we make a deal, we don't make a deal, it doesn't matter. We are going to continue to go towards a nuclear weapon. And I don't see how
you can make a deal with someone like that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you some very interesting news. This happened a while ago, but all the information is still not declassified. But 2 weeks ago, a Mossad agent died in the largest lake in northern Italy, Mossad or something. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's the largest lake way up north in northern Italy. Only now, and only some of the information surrounding this event has been declassified enough to even talk about. This is a strange event, to say the least. 21 people went down on a sinking boat in the storm on this lake. The captain said that his friend from the UN's Atomic Energy Agency, the same agency that overlooks Iran's nuclear weapons projects and stuff, someone from the Atomic Energy Agency ordered the day sail. To get even more mysterious, the boat was registered under a Russian and flying Russian flags. The captain sailed the boat right into a serious storm, sinking the boat. The Mossad agent was killed with 2 others, and most of the others just disappeared from the lake. Later, we know that they landed in Israel only hours later. The Mossad agents were working on a mission to accumulate information on the Iranian nuclear project. A lot of unanswered questions. We know that the agent had on him, during the time the boat sank, information that he was after on Iran. This is...
That's no coincidence.
So, yeah, it was probably Iran somehow got it, did this thing. First of all, the captain openly said before he stopped talking that someone, his friend from the Atomic Energy Agency and the UN set up the day sail. These were 21 people. A lot of other ones were also Mossad and everything. And what they ended, they from the southern part of the lake. They sailed up north to a restaurant, Verando or something like that. 2-star restaurant on an island up north in this lake, and they had a little meeting. Who knows what they were talking about? And on the way back, there was a big storm. Now, this is not very uncommon for this lake. It's known that in late afternoons they have for like 30 minutes winds over faster than tornado like kind of winds things, right? But the captain of this boat and all the other boats and all the other captains, they all know it, and if they never get caught in it. They always
know to avoid it.
They know to avoid it, and they know when they see it coming because they stay close. Because it's a very skinny lake. Within seconds, they're on shore somewhere to get till it blows over. So you got a lot of mysterious things going on around this event.
Yeah, a lot.
Very, very interesting James Bond kind of stuff, but we'll probably never know the actual story.
The truth, the whole truth.
Yeah. I just figured it was interesting. You guys might want to know about it if you haven't heard about it. Israel on Tuesday night carried out airstrikes in Syria near Damascus. Again, this was a stockpile of weapons from Iran on its way to Hizbollah to attack Israel. I have lost count on how many times Israel had to stop these convoys of weapons from Iran this year. They just won't stop trying to destroy the state of Israel. This is just the life for us here, and we have no moment to rest.
That's true. Iran's been doing it for years.
Yeah,
sending weapons through Syria.
And they're not going to stop. And not only they're not going to stop, they're ramping things up.
They are.
We see them how they're rallying Hamas and Hizbollah and Syria and Jordan and Egypt. And it's just we see it. You can see it unfolding and happening. But it's going to be okay. The Biden administration is going to make a nuclear deal.
Yeah,
with
right.
Iran, it's gonna fix everything, Mama. So don't worry.
Yeah, right.
Don't worry.
Yeah,
We can tell.
I won't count on it.
We can call up the IDF, telling them you can
settle down.
You can take the year off.
Don't forget that.
Oh.
You better wrap up your year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, on Tuesday around 3 p.m., another terrorist attack in the northern Samaria area. 4 IDF soldiers were injured and 1 civilian. The terrorists pulled up to a car with a Jewish occupant, a civilian, and opened fire. The injured Jewish man was able to drive himself to help. 4 IDF soldiers, seeing the terrorist driving away, went after him. The terrorists opened fire on the soldiers and injured them, but they kept going. And all 5 of the injured do not have life-threatening injuries. Everyone was okay, especially the soldiers. They were just all lightly injured because they were in a bulletproof Jeep, and their injuries was the shattered glass from the inside of the bulletproof. And well, actually not the glass, because the glass don't shatter on the inside. From the chips of metal. When it hits it bulges and it chips them. It's small injuries. That's why the soldiers were able to still
shrapnel.
take
it's sort of like shrapnel injuries.
But that's why the soldiers were able to continue to chase him. But he did get away, the terrorist. But as usual, within a day or two, at most a week or two, the IDF always gets him. Always does. I have yet to see the terrorist that got away scot-free, and we never caught him.
Yeah.
It's a small country. Well, you got anything you want to add, Mama?
No, just just keep praying for Israel, and that God will give Netanyahu wisdom, the head of IDF wisdom to know what to do, how to do it correctly, and just like the Mossad agents, we need they need protection because they have to gather the information in dangerous areas.
Absolutely. Well, you just like Ola. I asked if you want to say something, you say no, and then you go off one and say something.
That's probably a woman thing. You just have to live with it.
I should just stop asking and just say, go ahead.
Your turn.
Well, it was. We'll be back to probably normal unless Mama wants to come back next week. Ola's sister got married yesterday, and she was still dealing with wedding stuff. So until next time, don't forget to join us on thegoldenreport.com.
God bless and Shabbat Shalom.
And Shabbat Shalom.